Dungeon Meshi, also known as Delicious in Dungeon, was an anime that was recommended to me by a very, very, very dear friend. And on the outside looking in, it didn't seem like something that I would really be interested in. But once I started actually watching it, like, I saw that it was a dungeon crawler type anime. And, you know, I love like RPGs and isekais and things of that nature. So I settled right on in, and it ended up being something that I really, really liked. For those of you that don't know, Dungeon Meshi, also known as Delicious in Dungeon, is this anime where these adventurers, they go dungeon crawling basically, and it's usually very long and tiring excursions. So oftentimes you'll end up running out of food and other supplies. So what Laios and the rest of his team would do, they would kill and eat the monsters and then, you know, use those for sustenance. That way they could stay in the dungeon and go further and further and further. And at first I liked Marcille. I mean, I still like Marcille because she's a very real person and she's not really on board with all of the eating of the monsters and stuff like that. And so she's very standoffish, but you know, when you're down there in the dungeon, you kind of don't have a choice. So you just have to make do with what you got. And they end up making some pretty nice dishes. And so she eventually starts to come around and it's good. It's nice. And she's got that exhausted, fucking tired, I'm done with life kind of personality. And I'm like, you know what? I'm on board with that. She's just a tired, hungry girl and she just wants to have a good meal and a nice bed to sleep in. I'm like, that's good. I resonate with that. Now, the turning point for me was when they finally found Fallon, you know, Laios' sister. And I won't go into details about, you know, all the stuff that happened leading up to that. But once they revealed like her chimera form, I'm just like, we finally got one, boys. They finally fed us another monster mommy and I could not be happier. Because one thing that's been very apparent whenever it comes to just monsters in general is that they're usually big, burly, masculine men type characters. And I'm like, bro, like, some of us guys, like, we're looking for monster mommies and stuff, man. It doesn't have to be all big burly men. We're the big burly women now. And one thing about me and, you know, my liking for, I guess my preferences whenever it comes to my favorite women in anime is that the vast majority of them are yandere. Like Toga, Shinobu, for example. I mean, Power, she's just relatable and she's funny and fucking silly and she's a breath of fresh air whenever it comes to watching Chainsaw Man. But characters like the first two, you know, Unohana, I guess you could throw Makima up there, even though I really fucking hate that bitch, but there's just something about her. Something that I just can't quite get away from, and I'm like, I think it's this random affinity that I've developed for bad women. And then Fallon steps in, you know, she was once this sweet innocent being and she's just flying in, killing people left and right, but she still has like this sense of wonder behind her eyes. Like, she's just a I mean, she is clearly a creature right now, but like, it's it's hard to explain, and I'm like, she can do no wrong. Put your swords away, put the magic down. She is okay. Let her go. Like, look at this. Look at this right here. Is this the face of a killer? Like, is this the face of someone who could do wrong in their life? And of course, like, they have to come to terms with these things because, you know, that is Laios' sister. But even he's like, bro, like, there's something that we might have to do about this because she's literally on a whole different level with her magic. And like, that's been apparent since the very start. Like, she is a very, very exceptional mage. And in addition to this chimera form, she still has all of her magical abilities intact. So when they're on the receiving end of that, it's not great. You know, Fallon and Marcille, you know, they both went to the same academy together. So they've been pretty close friends for a long time. And I'm sure that a lot of people would like ship them because you know how anime ships are. It's like you see two people that are very close and you're just like, but are they really just friends? And it's like, it's those people that like have never had a close friend before, so they don't really understand the dynamic and the vibe. Are deep friendships intimate? Absolutely, but intimacy and sexualness don't go hand in hand. You can be intimate with someone without being sexual with them. On the flip side, you can be sexual with someone without being intimate with them, and like it's the latter is kind of the worst out of the two, but you know, they don't necessarily go hand in hand. Yes, both of them are better when they're together, but they, you know, they're their own thing. So it's kind of difficult for them to actually, you know, battle her and actually go through these motions with her because they've known her for so long. And the ones that did try to fight her, they got dealt with very quickly. And I'm just like, oh, bad woman is also very strong. Sign me up, do whatever, I do not care, bro. And of course, Fallon isn't the only reason why I would recommend Delicious in Dungeon. It's a nice change of pace. And like I say, I don't really resonate with too many like comedy style anime very often, but this is definitely one of the ones that I could recommend. And I'm interested to see where this goes. And not just because we have a new monster mommy on the roster. Like that was like a nice surprise. And like, I don't know if she's gonna be like the main antagonist for this series, but that would be pretty nice. Like that way, you know, it kind of tugs on the heartstrings of the team and like, you know, Laios, because that's his sister. Like that's the only reason why he's been in the dungeon in the first place. So it makes for a good little narrative that he would have to face her in the final battle or whatever the case may be. And with something like this, yes, I am an anime only, mostly because I just kind of prefer to be an anime only. I could read the manga, and I've been tempted to read the manga, but I'm like, you know what, I'll tough it out. I'll just wait. I'll stay with the anime onlys because there's just something nice about waiting for all those episodes to drop and then just watching them in one continuous binge, because I am a binge watcher. Me and the wife both, we are binge watchers. We will get all of our snacks and stuff ready, sit in the bed, and then just watch at least 6, 7, 8 episodes back to back to back, just to fucking shoot the shit and just hang out, have a grand old time, and get caught up. As far as what I think the outcome is gonna be, I don't think that Team Laios is gonna kill Fallon. I think that they're gonna, you know, find some kind of magical way to like revert her or get her out of there, tear her away from the Chimera, or they're gonna find the Mad Mage and get him to undo the thing, or by killing the Mad Mage, it might undo all the magic that he's caused. Like, I don't know, but I think that they're gonna start by killing that guy, and then hopefully that'll like rewrite the rules of the dungeon or whatever, or Laios becomes the dungeon king and then he can do whatever he has to do to right all of the wrongs that they've caused from being in the dungeon so long. That's just my prediction. You know, it could go either way, but it's kind of fun to like make little predictions like this and then go back on those episodes at a later time and then see if I was right on the money or if I was completely wrong. I also tried drawing Chimera Fallon, and you know, I wasn't too happy with it. I just kind of threw it together because, you know, I just the brain worm had spoken and I had to get it out of my system right then and there. But I'll probably try drawing her again in my more semi-realistic style, and we'll just see where that goes. But yeah, I'm just glad to add her to my infinity gauntlet of bad anime women. Even though, like I say, she's got that sense of innocence behind her eyes, so it's like she's not really in control of what she's doing. Obviously, she's just behaving like an animal, but that's okay. We like animals around here.